Welcome back, everyone. We're diving headfirst into the Formula One Australian Grand Prix, specifically that unbelievable finish on Sunday, March 16th, 2025.
Yeah, unbelievable is one word for it.
Absolutely. We had you send in a ton of updates, most from F1 blogs, really capturing the drama of those final stages. And, well, we want to unpack it all. How did Lando Norris pull off that win?
Right. We've got a lap-by-lap breakdown right up to the finish line, real-time updates on the gaps between the drivers, incidents, all that.
Oh, yeah, those were tense.
And to get the full picture, post-race reactions from the top three. Lando Norris, obviously, Max Verstappen, right there challenging, and George Russell rounding out the podium.
Yeah, each with their take on the battle. Plus, we've got a full race report, key incidents, final standings. It's like we're reliving the whole thing.
Exactly. Live commentary, expert analysis, and the results all rolled into one.
So it's more than just saying Norris won. We want to understand those last few laps, the pressure.
Absolutely. The pressure on Norris, Verstappen right on his tail the whole time, the unexpected twists that decided the podium. There were a few.
Okay, so let's get right into it, that final lap. The headlines say Norris, but the updates, it was so close. Verstappen was right there, wasn't he?
Oh, he was. Penultimate lap, lap 56, Verstappen was practically glued to Norris's rear wing, less than a second between them at the DRS detection zone. Meaning, on that last lap, Verstappen had DRS down the main straight.
Huge advantage.
Crucial speed boost, a real chance to overtake, and the McLaren pit wall was all over the radio, urging Norris to keep it together, reminding him of the car's pace, telling him not to push too hard. That back and forth with Verstappen right there shows just how intense it was.
And the lap before, 55, only 0.6 of a second between them. The report says Verstappen had closed a 0.6 gap in that single lap.
Yeah, that's Verstappen for you. Pulling out every bit of performance when it matters. Maybe Norris and McLaren were feeling the pressure then, managing the pace a bit.
So Norris holds on for that final lap. But before that, things were happening further down the field, weren't they? Around lap 54, some movement in the points.
Yeah, Pierre Gasly, he made a mistake. Let both Ferraris through, up into 8th and 9th. And behind him, Oscar Piastri, trying for that last point in 10th.
Shows how even with the leaders battling it out, the midfield was still a fight.
Oh, absolutely.
And just before that, same lap, 54, Kimi Antonelli pushing Alex Albon for 4th.
Antonelli, the rookie, in his first race.
Amazing debut if he's fighting for 4th so late.
Yeah, phenomenal talent. The report says he finished 5th, though he was under investigation afterward. Likely something with the battle against Albon, maybe track limits, maybe an overtaking move.
Okay, so let's go back to the restart after the safety car.
Mm-hmm.
Lap 52, green flag again. What happened at the front?
Top positions didn't change, Norris leading Verstappen. But the F1 blog's commentary, they said Norris had a super clean getaway, got a little gap going into the first corner. Verstappen, on the other hand, had a bit of a wobble coming out of turn 2.
So that's all it takes.
Just a moment, but enough for Norris to breathe a little.
And that safety car, a few laps before, 47 to 49, that was chaos, wasn't it? What happened?
Yeah, F1 blogs updates, it was all happening. Lap 47, Verstappen, despite leading, pitted for intermediates. Rain was picking up.
Bold move.
It was. Briefly, the Ferraris, Leclerc and Sainz were first and second. But then, bam, more incidents. Lawson and Bortolito both crashed out. Cue another safety car.
Wow, just like that, everything changed.
Completely.
And even before that, Verstappen went off track while leading.
Right, lap 46. The rain, it caught a lot of drivers out. The update says Verstappen went wide, luckily rejoined still in the lead, ahead of Hamilton and Tsunoda. But Norris, he dropped to 6th in that wet spell.
So that change in weather, lap 46, that was a turning point. Piastri stuck in the grass, Norris pitting for intermediates. That's when Verstappen took the lead.
Yeah, the F1 blog's timeline, you can see how everything shifted. McLaren, so strong in the dry, struggled in the rain. Verstappen, staying out on slicks, paid off for a bit. Then he had that error. Shows how tricky it was.
Okay, let's rewind a little further. Lap 34, Fernando Alonso retired. F1 blog said he went off while fighting for 9th. His tires were worn.
Yeah, that's right. The update says he hit the wall in Sector 2, first safety car of the race. Everyone pitted for slicks then. But here's where it gets interesting. McLaren put Norris on hards, Red Bull put Verstappen on mediums, different strategies. And that played a huge role in how the race ended.
Fascinating. So Alonso's retirement set off this chain reaction.
Exactly. McLaren going for hards, maybe thinking about the long game, tire management, a possible late safety car.
Right.
Red Bull mediums, maybe going for outright speed, thinking the rain wouldn't be a factor.
Wow, so much strategy at play. Now, F1 blogs also had some interesting insights into the driver's thoughts after the race. Norris seemed really emotional about the win.
Yeah, his quote, you can feel how much it meant to him, especially with Verstappen right there the whole time. He talked about the pressure, some small mistakes he felt he made, how crucial his team's pit stop call was. And he praised McLaren for the car. True team effort.
And Verstappen. No win, but he sounded pretty level-headed in the report.
Yeah, he talked about how close he got to Norris at the end. Even said it was fun, despite not overtaking. Focused on the positive, good championship points. Even said no matter the rain strategy, he probably would have finished second anyway. But he also said the car wasn't as fast as he'd hoped, maybe hinting that McLaren had the edge this time.
Interesting. And George Russell, third place. What was his take?
He was realistic, said it wasn't their best weekend for pace, but happy with the podium. Acknowledged how unpredictable F1 is, how McLaren seemed faster.
So looking back, it was like two different races, wasn't it? McLaren, strong in the dry, then the rain, chaos. Verstappen leads, makes a mistake. Then safety cars, strategy calls, Norris ends up in front, fighting off Verstappen.
Yeah, that sums it up perfectly. Changeable weather, teams making tough calls, those decisions had consequences. And the safety cars bunching up the field created opportunities, just added to the excitement.
Okay, so as we've seen in this deep dive, those final laps in Australia, wow. Lando Norris, cool under pressure, holding off Verstappen, huge win to start the season. The F1 blogs reports, they show how close it was. Verstappen, with DRS, almost got him, but Norris defended brilliantly. Then, the post-race interviews. We hear the emotions. Norris, relieved, thankful to his team. Verstappen, disappointed but focusing on the points. And Russell, taking advantage of the chaos.
Yeah, it really highlights what F1 is about. Unpredictable, full of strategy, high stakes. And the F1 blogs reports, they point to what might come next. McLaren's speed, the battle with Red Bull.
Norris winning the first race. That sets the tone for the season. And that close fight with Verstappen, we might see more of that. What does this mean for McLaren? How will Red Bull react?
Lots of questions to answer.
Absolutely. Maybe we look deeper into McLaren's strategy calls in those final laps, or Verstappen's comments about overtaking at this track. Plenty to think about as the season goes on.
So there we have it. Our deep dive into the Australian Grand Prix. Drama, strategy, a finish you won't forget. We hope you've gained some insights into those crucial moments.
We sure did. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. If you enjoyed it and you want to keep up with all the F1 action, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back with more soon.